All right, so you know how smartphones like totally changed how we communicate?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like there's one industry that kind of missed that whole memo,
Oh, really?
the auto industry.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. So today we're going to like deep dive into why that is
Okay, cool.
using this Italian article and some analysis from Calpurnia to help guide us along the way.
Sounds good.
So it really does seem like a bit of a head scratcher.
What do you mean?
Well, while the rest of the world was like embracing all these digital advancements,
Yeah.
the auto industry just kind of stayed put, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, particularly when you look at electric vehicles.
Exactly. And this article zeroes in on this resistance by focusing on Stellantis.
Stellantis.
Yeah, you know, that big car company.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And their CEO, Carlos Tavares.
Got it.
And there's this one fact that just blew my mind.
Oh.
So in 2023, Tavares' salary was 570 times higher than the average Stellantis employee.
Oh, wow. That's a huge gap.
It is. And the article uses that to kind of highlight a bigger issue.
Okay, what is that?
Despite all the talk about climate change and needing to shift to more sustainable transportation, the industry as a whole just seemed really hesitant to fully embrace change.
It's like they were clinging to the old ways, even as the world around them was changing.
That's a great way to put it. Like the article even mentions that Europe was already raising concerns about this back in 2016.
Seriously, that early?
Yeah, they were urging the industry to adapt. But it makes you wonder, did they listen?
Yeah, did they just ignore all these warnings?
That's the question the article asks. Did industry leaders, maybe even those at Stellantis, totally miss out on what was happening in China?
You mean with their electric vehicles and battery technology?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Was that like a huge missed opportunity?
It very well could have been.
Okay, and here's where things get even more interesting.
All right, I'm listening.
Stellantis was actually receiving government funds to help with the energy transition.
Right, shifting from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources.
Exactly. But at the same time, Tavares is getting this massive payout while the company seems to be struggling.
Yeah, that does seem a bit contradictory.
Right, and this is where Calpurnia's analysis is super helpful.
Okay, how so?
She points out that this whole situation makes us question Stellantis' priorities.
What are they really focusing on?
Are they putting short-term profits ahead of long-term sustainability? And what does that mean for us as consumers?
Yeah, are we basically footing the bill for companies that aren't really investing in the future of transportation?
And there's this one detail that Calpurnia highlights that's super interesting.
I'm all ears.
Stellantis had the chance to team up with the Politecnico di Torino.
Politecnico di Torino.
Yeah, it's a top-notch technical university in Italy
Okay.
to develop some really cutting-edge electric vehicle technology.
Interesting. So did they take that opportunity?
Well, that's the million-dollar question.
Did Stellantis miss a chance to become a leader in this whole electric vehicle thing?
Yeah. What if they had really revolutionized sustainable mobility?
What would that have meant for the company and for how electric vehicles developed?
It really makes you think about what could have been
It does.
if they had just gone down a different path.
Absolutely. And it brings up another big issue. All the confusion in the car market these days.
Oh my gosh, tell me about it.
Like if you were to buy a car tomorrow, what would you go for? Electric? Hybrid? Diesel? Gasoline?
So many options.
I know, right?
It's like a maze out there.
And the article makes this point that this confusion could be because the industry itself doesn't have a clear direction.
What do you think about that?
I think it makes sense. If the industry was more gung-ho about innovation, maybe things would be clearer for us consumers.
So maybe we wouldn't be drowning in choices without a real sense of what's best for the future.
Right.
Are we saying that the lack of leadership in innovation, especially compared to China's advancements, is what led to this chaotic car market?
It's a good point, and Calpurnia's analysis backs that up.
Okay, how so?
She specifically mentions that missed collaboration with Politecnico di Torino. Think about the breakthroughs they could have had together.
Yeah, what if they had become a driving force in sustainable mobility?
It's a real what-if moment, isn't it?
It is, and it makes you realize how big the ripple effects of these decisions can be.
You're right about that. And speaking of ripple effects, it's a perfect time to talk about government policies.
Oh yeah, how they've impacted the auto industry's shift to electric vehicles.
We see some very different approaches between Europe and China.
Okay, so break it down for me. What are the main differences in their strategies?
And how effective have they been in actually driving change?
Those are the big questions we're going to tackle next.
Exactly. We'll look at the specific incentives and rules put in place by both regions and analyze how they've turned out.
Considering things like how many people are actually buying electric cars
Hmm.
and the technological advancements that have been made.
This will give us a better understanding of how government policies can either help or hurt the transition to electric vehicles.
Sounds fascinating. I'm ready to dig in.
So let's zoom in on Europe and China for a second.
Oh.
And how they've tackled this whole electric vehicle thing.
Yeah. What are we seeing in these different places?
Well, in Europe, it's been mostly about regulations and incentives. They've got these strict emissions standards for car makers.
So pushing them to make more fuel-efficient and electric vehicles?
Exactly. Plus, lots of European countries offer subsidies and tax breaks.
To get people to buy EVs.
Yeah,
So like a carrot and stick kind of thing.
that's a good way to put it. Now, China's approach is way more aggressive
Really?
and centralized. They've poured tons of money into building a charging infrastructure.
Making it easier for people to actually charge their electric cars.
Yep. And they've also got these production quotas for car manufacturers.
Like they're required to make a certain percentage of electric vehicles.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
So China's taking a very hands-on approach.
You could say that almost like an industrial policy push for electric vehicles.
While Europe is relying more on market forces and incentives for consumers.
You got it. And it's super interesting to see how these different strategies are actually playing out.
So how are they playing out?
Well, China is now the biggest electric vehicle market in the world,
Wow.
with EVs popping up left and right. Europe's making progress, but they're definitely lagging behind.
So what's the takeaway here? Is one approach, like, inherently better?
I don't think it's about better or worse.
Okay.
It's more about understanding the context.
And what each region is trying to achieve.
Exactly. China's top-down approach has definitely sped things up.
In terms of people adopting electric vehicles.
Yeah, but some people argue it might stifle innovation down the line.
Interesting.
Europe's more decentralized approach lets companies compete and experiment more.
But it might take longer to get everyone on board with electric vehicles.
That's the trade-off.
So there's no magic bullet.
Nope. Every place has its own situation and priorities.
Right. And we got to factor in how governments, consumers, and technology all interact.
To really get the whole picture.
You mentioned consumers. What role do we play in all of this as car buyers? I mean,
Oh, that's a huge question, because at the end of the day, the success of electric vehicles hinges on whether people actually buy them.
yeah, if there's no demand, even the best government policies won't do much.
Exactly. So it's not just about governments pushing for change.
It's also about people embracing it.
And that's where things get tricky, because even with the incentives and all the talk about climate change,
There's still some hesitation about electric vehicles.
yeah, why is that? What's holding people back?
Well, range anxiety is a big one,
People are worried about running out of juice before they get where they're going.
especially on long trips.
Right. And then there's the whole charging infrastructure thing.
Like, are there enough charging stations?
It's getting better, but it's still not as convenient as gas stations.
And of course, there's the cost.
Electric vehicles tend to be pricier up front compared to gas-powered cars.
So some valid concerns there for sure. What can we do about this?
What can we do to get more people to go electric?
Well, for starters, I think education is key.
People need to know more about the benefits of electric vehicles
Like how they actually perform the cost savings over time.
and how they feel to drive
It's about changing people's perceptions.
and debunking those myths.
Right. And then, of course, we need more research and development
We got to keep improving battery technology.
to make them last longer and be more affordable.
And we need to build out those charging stations faster.
To make it easier for people to charge their EVs.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's going to take a team effort
Yeah, governments, industry, consumers, all working together.
towards a shared goal.
And that brings us back to Stellantis.
Oh, yeah. And that missed opportunity with Politecnico di Torino.
Can you remind me what the potential benefits of that were again?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
They would have had access to cutting-edge research
From a top university.
and a whole pool of talented engineers specializing in electric vehicles.
Wow. Imagine the innovations they could have come up with.
Advanced battery systems software that makes driving even better.
It could have been huge for them.
They could have been a leader in sustainable mobility,
Instead, they went a different route.
focused on short-term gains.
Instead of a long-term vision.
And we see that in the big payout to the CEO.
While the company struggles to keep up with the market.
Yeah, it makes you question their priorities.
Are they really committed to sustainability in the long run?
Which brings us back to leadership. What does it even mean to be a leader in an industry that's changing so much?
That's a great question. I think it means being willing to embrace change.
To invest in new ideas
and put the long-term well-being of the company first.
their employees, and the environment,
It's about thinking bigger than just the bottom line.
and making decisions that benefit everyone.
Absolutely. And realizing that electric vehicles aren't just a tech thing.
It's a social and cultural shift,
We need to make sustainable transportation the norm.
not just an option,
Right. Imagine a world where electric vehicles are just part of life,
where charging stations are as common as gas stations.
and where driving an electric car is just the way to go.
Not just good for the planet, but also easy and fun.
That's the future we should be aiming for.
So where do we go from here? What have we learned from this whole deep dive into the auto industry?
That's a great question. And honestly, I think it's something each listener has to grapple with on their own.
It's about thinking about the choices we make as consumers
The expectations we have of our leaders.
and how we can all contribute to a more sustainable future.
You got it. And it's about realizing that this shift to a more sustainable way of getting around,
It's not just on governments or corporations,
it's a responsibility we all share.
and it takes all of us working together.
Our choices matter, even the small ones,
They can have a ripple effect and help create a bigger movement.
towards a world that's fairer and more sustainable.
Exactly.
And as we navigate all this rapid change in technology and society,
It's super important to stay informed
have these conversations
and make choices that reflect our values.
and what we want the future to look like.
Wow. It feels like we've really peeled back the layers on this one.
Yeah, it's not just about cars, is it?
No way. This is about how industries adapt or don't adapt.
To huge changes in technology and global trends.
And it's interesting, the article doesn't just point the finger at one bad guy.
Right. It shows how everything's connected.
Yeah, a bunch of different factors all playing a part.
And it's easy to blame someone.
But it's way more complicated than that.
We have to understand why everyone's doing what they're doing.
And that takes me back to something Calpurnia said
Oh, yeah.
about those big executive payouts.
Like what Tavares got.
Yeah, are those a symptom of a bigger problem?
She thinks they might be a sign that companies are focused on the short term.
And not the long term.
Are they rewarding the people at the top?
Instead of investing in innovation and the future of the industry.
It really makes you think about what companies value.
And how that affects their decisions.
And this goes way beyond just cars.
Yeah, any industry that's being disrupted has to figure this out.
So how do we get companies to think long term?
To care about sustainability and really embrace innovation.
That's the big question, isn't it?
I mean, there are a lot of things we could try.
Regulations, changes in consumer demand, corporate governance.
Could you break those down a bit?
Like, give some concrete examples.
Yeah.
Sure. So with regulations, we're already seeing stricter environmental rules.
And incentives for electric vehicles.
But maybe we need to think bigger.
Like what?
Policies that encourage long-term investments in research.
And reward companies for sustainable practices.
Exactly. We need to reward the behavior we want to see more of.
Okay, that makes sense. What about consumers?
Well, consumers have power too.
Through the choices we make.
Are we demanding sustainable products?
Are we willing to pay more for green technology?
It's about putting our money where our values are.
I like that. And what about corporate governance?
Well, we could change how executive pay works. What if those big bonuses depended on reaching sustainability goals?
Instead of just short-term profits,
Then executives would have to care about the long term.
they'd be focused on building a company that lasts.
That's the idea.
Get everyone on the same page.
CEOs, consumers, everyone working towards a more sustainable future.
That's a tall order.
It is, but it's also an amazing opportunity.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the main takeaway?
I think this isn't just about the auto industry.
It's about all of us.
It's about the choices we make
The things we value,
and the future we want to build.
and that future is still being written.
We all have a say in how it turns out.
So think about the questions we've talked about today.
How do you see the future of transportation?
What role do you want to play in shaping it?
What choices can you make, big or small?
To create a world where innovation and sustainability go hand in hand.
That's what it's all about.